Let us talk about this topic because a lot of people have been asking me this question about the new policy. And to those of you who are wondering what the new policy is about, let me just see if I can project it on the screen so that you guys can appreciate what we are discussing. YouTube essentially is just saying, in order to monetize as part of the YouTube Partner Program, YouTube has always required creators to upload original and authentic content. We know this. This is something that we've all known before from before. They're saying on July 15th, YouTube is updating the monetization guidelines to better identify mass-produced and repetitious content. This update better reflects what inauthentic content looks like today. And for most people here, what the keywords here that I think are problematic to most people is mass-produced and repetitious content. I decided to go into the YouTube guidelines. So this is what the guidelines say. They tell you repetitious content refers to a channel where the content is so similar that viewers have trouble spotting. I don't know if you can see that viewers have trouble spotting the difference between videos. This includes content that looks like it's made with a template with little to no variation across videos, or content that's easily replicable at scale. This policy applies to your channel as a whole. In other words, if you have videos that violate our guidelines, monetization may be removed from your entire channel. And you read this alongside what YouTube, what is allowed to be monetized. YouTube is telling you that they want content that, of course, appealing for viewers to watch and interesting to watch. And they even give you an example in terms of what that will look like. And then they tell you the kind of content that violates that guideline in terms of that will not be allowed for monetization. And they tell you what's not allowed to be monetized. And they say this list is not exhaustive, meaning they can always increase. This is where they are going to catch us. They are saying content that exclusively features readings of other materials you did not originally create, like text from websites or news feeds. Songs modified to change the pitch or speed but are otherwise identical to the original song. Similar repetitive content or mindless content with low educational value, commentary, or narratives. Mass-produced or content using the same template across multiple videos. Image slideshows or scrolling text with minimal or no narrative, commentary, or educational value. These things have always been there as part of the monetization guidelines. I don't think the policy taking effect on the 15th of July is like entirely new. And this is me speaking from where I'm sitting. I don't think it's entirely new because these things have always been there. There's a lot of conversation around the artificial intelligence being part of like the main culprits, because nowadays content creators don't create nowadays content creators don't create videos per se. They just go and they can generate a video using AI, complete with sound and things like that, and they can stay as faceless and as unknown as much as possible. Of course, you guys, I'm sure you see a lot of these videos. A lot of these videos are very, like, you come across a lot of these videos on YouTube, because I think most people have decided to take that route because it's just easy. It's just easy. But this is the same YouTube that tells us that we need to disclose whether we have artificially modified the videos that we are uploading. They actually ask you to disclose whether there is anything that is AI modified anytime you're uploading a video. They always ask you to tick that box so that in case there's an aspect that is that you've tweaked, you have to disclose. But yes, I've admitted that this video is not mine. I've actually like auto-generated it using artificial intelligence. Where is the boundary now between me disclosing and not suffering the repercussions of that kind of action? The second thing that you want to think about, videos that are mass produced. We need to get a lot of definitions. And I think the biggest problem YouTube is going to have, and I think they're already thinking about it because I can see how they are struggling to explain themselves on X. They are going to have to explain to the content creators what is the definition of mass produced. What is the definition of repetitive content? And that's why the people who are doing loop videos are getting worried, because loop videos actually fall into the category of repetitive content, especially if you don't do any changes to it. There is no music, there is no text. It is just something that is going on there. And that is why everybody who does loop videos got so worried when this news came out, because you are like, oh my God, I've been doing loop videos and I've been hoping to be monetized. What does this mean for my channel? What does this mean for my channel? What does this mean for a channel that is monetized? That's one other thing you have to start thinking about. And these are conversations we're going to have in the next, I think in the next coming week, as YouTube clarifies this policy. Because I know they're going to issue a clarification probably in the course of the week, because there's a lot of attention that this news has triggered across the YouTube verse. I think most people are finding themselves having to start asking themselves, what is repetitive content? What is mass-produced content? What are the definitions of this content in a sense? Because for me, it's been like a loop video. For me, who has a faceless channel that just does artificial intelligence generated kind of videos. What does this mean for my channel? Does it mean that I'm going to not be monetized, especially if I've already reached the threshold of watch hours? Or if I've not yet, or if I'm monetized, does it mean that I'm going to be penalized for those videos because they already exist and I'm making money from them? I'm getting ad revenue from those videos. Does it mean that I'm going to be penalized? So I think those are the conversations that people are thinking about. But most of the things, the obvious culprits are the loop videos, because that literally falls squarely into. Especially if we don't modify a loop video, as much as it is your video, it is not educational, it is not offering value, it is just repeating itself for like over 24 hours or in my case, or 12 hours. That's the clarification I think we are going to need. We are in the age of artificial intelligence where we are supposed to be using the AI tools to refine and make ourselves better content creators. But also that is now becoming problematic because a number of us have abandoned that original creativity. So we are generating all our content using these artificial intelligence tools. So that's becoming, does that mean that it's becoming problematic now to YouTube? Yet they use AI, of course, in their systems and things like that. So what is the fate of AI, especially to a content creator? Loop videos, I told you guys 3 weeks ago. This one, of course, I saw it coming. Loop videos, we started doing loop videos exactly 1 year ago. It was July last year when we were doing these animal videos and the drama, and we started getting a lot of subscribers and views. I knew loop videos are going to catch up with us at some point. So in case you have your WH before the 15th, I would suggest you apply for the monetization as soon as possible before the policy takes effect, so that hopefully they are not going to the policy is not going to apply retrogressively. I hope it's going to apply proactively, in the sense that it's going to apply to the future, so that those of us who have sins, we can go and start cleaning our sins. I had to go and demonetize all my loop videos, because I do have loop videos on the live stream. I had to demonetize those videos and remove the $sign from them, so that I'm not earning from them, because this policy appears to be a monetization specific. It's targeting monetization. And I don't want to look at it as part of just people are getting monetized, but I also want to look at it as from an angle of being a monetized channel. Does it have implications on me as a monetized channel? Because that can become problematic. So I think as we are having this, as we are debating this policy, even the videos that I'm watching on YouTube from different content creators about this policy, they're very anticipative. Nobody's giving a concrete answer. Nobody's giving something very substantive. Favor the Nurse did a very beautiful video. I loved the video by Favor the Nurse. It was very she literally said the truth. We've been doing these things. So it's just that YouTube had to find ways of cracking down on some of these things. Because guys, you're becoming a YouTube partner. It was not going to become easy. YouTube, of course, when you become a YouTube partner, it means this means more burden for YouTube, because we are getting a lot of people a lot of people are getting into the YouTube partner program. And most people are getting the YouTube partner program fast. They had to find a way to clip our wings. So for me, I would say let us wait for the clarification, because I do know they are going to clarify something this week, because there's a lot of misinformation around this policy. But the policy has been there. For me, I don't think it is new. So I don't think anything is going to change magically. I think they've just tweaked their systems to be able to detect these things better. And that is why your loop videos don't do very well nowadays when you're using StreamYard or Restream or things like that, because their systems can already detect after a certain time that you're doing a loop video. Nowadays, YouTube systems can detect you're doing a loop video, and that's why you will get a lot of viewers for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then after that, it goes back to 0 people watching. They've already caught up with us in that regard. So I think I wouldn't suggest you delete anything. If you're a monetized channel, I will just if you're a monetized channel, I think don't monetize any loops that you are doing on your channel. If you have used like a lot of if your videos are really AI generated, you need to start going to see how you can tweak them, add edits and things like that. You may even have to make the unfortunate decision of demonetizing those videos, because if it is making money from videos and YouTube does not really like those videos, then don't monetize them. Just turn off the dollar sign in those videos until we get a clarification. At the end of the day, it's their platform. They define the rules. We can protest as much as we want, but I think it's really an individual reflection. You have to check on your channel and figure out, is there a content that you think is problematic? Because most of us are already aware about reused content. We don't joke around with reused content. That one we are very clear, because there are implications. It's reused content. I will get flagged for it. But now in our own individual channels, we have to start thinking. You have to start now looking at your channel from the lens of this new policy. It is the loops, it is the green screens that we keep repeating on our channels. So most of you are also going to get clips from places like Instagram, TikTok, and then you're coming to put them on YouTube and you just leave them running there. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be like a lot of reflection for you as a content creator to figure out what you want to do. For me, I would say take advantage of the new tools like what we were just learning today. Remix your old videos. Those of you who joined YouTube in 2020 before this restream drama and things like that, you know it was very hard to get WH. People used to sleep on the live stream looking for watch hours for 5 hours, and we never used to have vertical live streams. It used to be like horizontal. I literally got all my watch hours on horizontal live streams. No single vertical live stream gave me watch hours when I was looking for monetization. I want to see the clarity that YouTube is going to give by the end of the week, because the 15th is in the next 6 days. So that we know, are we going to like stop that is next Tuesday. So guys, read this new policy. Watch the videos that people are dropping on YouTube, but watch them with a pinch of salt, because I think it's a gray area. It's a gray area. Even the YouTubers who are doing these videos are not very clear because of the interpretation of this policy. But this new policy, you have to read it alongside the monetization guidelines, because the monetization guidelines are already very clear.